Hey, everybody. How's it going? We are here in our second weekend, our winter overnighter in New Hampshire, somewhere in New Hampshire. We will keep the location disclosed. Setting up got our sled going, we got some wood, got a sack of food, some booze, some water, tent, and of course the stove, the Woodlander stove, along with a shovel and some bungees, and then we each have our packs. So plenty of gear to last the night. And really in our packs, all we have is our personal items, some backup stoves, some articles of clothing, some sleep system, and then we're gonna share the big teepee tent, which we'll show you guys. So open it all the way up, and we gotta tuck it evenly, loose side up. But this is how we do it. We basically use the tarp for multiple things. We use it to pack the sled, kind of keep everything in place, but then we also can, when we get there, we can take it off and put it over our heads in case it's snowing, which last weekend was one of the issues we had. Was it was kind of wet, so we had to get out of the elements. But I'm gonna help Bobby do this. And Bobby,
hey,
what's up, bro?
Let's get out there.
Let's get going. All right. Woo! Woo! Here we are hiking. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago, we tried this. It was a little wet, so this is the second attempt. A little lighter load. Bobby's always the pack mule. He always likes to pull the sled. Fire's gonna keep us warm, I think. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. We are now leaving the protected forest area, and we can camp around these areas assuming you follow the rules and guidelines, which is usually a few hundred feet away from water or the trail. I think it's like a quarter mile away from the road, which I think that just was, probably a little more, but oh no! Oh. I just know if we can get over that hill. That might be somewhere. It might be cool over there.
Yeah.
It'll be isolated. Yeah, we don't have snowshoes, so you notice that some are crispy and others are not when you step. But I think if we get back in here, we're gonna make a nice little flat area. I see an opening. Found one. Found a good one. All right, so I think I found a good spot for us. If we go back over here, it seems to open up. Oh. That's deep. That's deep. So this is the problem. I don't have gaiters, and then snow gets in my boots and gets them wet, and I have to change them out. So gotta get snowshoes and gaiters. That's a necessity in this kind of climate and weather. All right, found a good spot, bro. I think this will work. Got a nice flat area right here for the tent to go. And then, yeah, this whole area looks real nice. So, I'm gonna drop my pack and help Bobby. So, I'm just gonna, already starting to sweat, man. Can't follow my tracks?
Dude, I can.
What do you think?
So where? This will, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Is it big enough?
And then to the right? There's another flat area.
Oh yeah. Well, we should get rid of this tree right here.
Well, we can move that stuff for a big spot for the tent. All right, we made it. Ugh. I'm just gonna get the snow out of my shoes. That's what happened last time. Yeah, what's up, guys? Set up our camp. Looking good, bro. Looking good. Okay. So we are just gonna start setting up our camp, our stove, and our tarp, and I'll probably time lapse it to show you guys throughout. So enjoy. Alright, so I'm just going to cut up a little cordage and use it for the tent snow anchors. I'd say for this, I haven't really had a set length, but I'd say about 3 to 5 feet per line, maybe a little less. You can definitely vary it. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, that's about 4 feet. Okay, and then if you had a lighter, you can just singe the top, both sides. And then we'll take this, we got a snow anchor right here, which I'll get the sheet of bobby and I'll get one too. And then we can bury it in the snow. 1, 2, 3, I guess 4 feet's good. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that cordage. No. What up? Bro, what you got going on? Alright, so after he gets that done, let me do mine too. Alright, well, we got the pole, we got the teepee set up. This is a 6-person teepee. So you have to crawl in the front door, and then I guess we can do the no shoe rule from here on out.
Got it.
I mean, you can, the more snow you track in, the more we have to get out, so just think of it that way.
Be careful.
Yeah, but just walk in, maybe clunk your boots before you go in, and just, you'll see there's a hole in the middle, and try to get it on the reinforced.
Where's the entrance to this thing?
It's the black liner. You have to,
right. Okay.
yeah. Be careful because it's not that, the zipper's not that good, so be careful when you open it up. Like, all right, we got the tent teepee pinned out. We use some snow anchor methods like you guys saw earlier, so everything's pretty tight. And Bobby's gonna go pitch in the middle. So like I said, there's a reinforced top area. Just make sure underneath there's a hole. You'll just see, just put it through the hole, but make sure there's 2 holes you have to put it through, because you don't want to pierce the tent top.
There's this sharp part right here. That goes in the...
Well, that's what I'm saying. So make sure you go through the metal hole and not the fabric. There's 2, I think there's 2 parts you have to look for. I may have already pierced it accidentally. Look at that. And we're gonna reinforce it with those black lines a little bit. So do you mind rolling the door open too? I think it's a dual system. So you have to like, it's kind of weird. It looks good, man.
Yeah. You wanna go?
All right, so moment of truth. Winter well. It's our second attempt. Now you want to do long ways, bro.
Yeah.
So the goal is we try to keep the stove 12 inches away from the tent like that, and we want to make sure it's packed down. We sometimes put wood. You know what? We try not to get any snow on top because you don't want it to melt.
Nope.
But I say let's bring this all the way forward like that. So that's pretty good placement for the stove, and we'll just go ahead and get it set up. I actually have a tent jack, but I wouldn't dare try to use it on this tent. So we could put the stove inside the tent, but I don't know if this really tent really fit for that. Look at this thing, it's like totally different color.
Yeah.
We
definitely took that thing's
took it for a ride. This is the second look. We used this last weekend, but you can see the coloration on this. We really tested it out. Okay. Alright, so we got the winter well here. I got it on its back because I'm going to go ahead and open up these legs. Once I get the legs open and locked in place, we'll place it down, get all the pipes set up, and then show you a different angle of what it looks like set up next to our tent. Okay, so see, we got the stove up and it's ready to get her cooking. So let's go ahead and find some firewood, take 5, and then once we collect some firewood, we'll get it started. Alright, so we got this Gerber survival hatchet. So I'm gonna go try to find some dead standing. Probably rotten. It's halfway wet. See what we can do. Well, we ended up getting things set up, but to light a fire in the stove. I decided not to put the stove in the tent, so it's not really gonna be a hot tent. It'll be more of a stove outside tent. Mostly because, you know, a canvas tent may have more thicker fabric, but this thin fabric isn't very sustainable for holding it and cutting a hole. I do have the stove jack that I could cut in up top, but I think it makes sense to hold off and just get a nice canvas tent for this stove eventually. Or right now, I'm going to touch it before it's lit, just making sure it's pretty stable. We didn't use any wood, but we did bury the legs and kind of pack down the snow through the blanket or the mat. And last time this seemed to work pretty well without it having, it was pretty anchored and the snow got pretty hard. It didn't go anywhere. And then you can see this thing's brand new. We didn't use it last time, but the stove itself is christened into a golden color from all the heat. Lots of heat last time. This thing did really good. It was really fun, so I look forward to seeing it in action again. One thing I noticed about this is that this thing actually is loose, but it still doesn't leak. So I'm guessing so that's ease of pouring the liquid out. Does seem to be leaking water though. Yeah, this is gonna work, man. It's leaking water.
Can't be.
Yeah, it is. It's just new, and it's just loose, dude. It's definitely leaking water.
Loose, man. Maybe keep spinning it. Spinning a wheel a bunch of
No, I tried, dude. It's
okay. There's other ways to boil water.
yeah, we don't really need water. But look at it. No, it's clearly pouring out right there.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So
Insane.
just for the winter well, this thing came brand new, loose, and if you look inside, there's a bolt that you can tighten. I don't know if you can see in there, but you need some really wacky tool to get in there to hold it down. So that's going to be interesting to do. So we're not going to use this, unfortunately. However, there's still water in there, so I'll save it. And we will just boil on our old-fashioned way, pots and pans. So we're going to boil this with the classic backpacking pots. We didn't bring the big pots this time like last time, so we're going to do more of a stir-fry, mini stir-fry meals. And we have our backup stoves. But Bobby, let's go ahead and get the fire lit, man. I'm gonna let you light it this time because I did the first time. This little shingle piece is always worked good for me. Those always work really good.
Yeah. All right, we'll probably start this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put more on it. So,
All right.
just make sure you're filming what you're doing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna light this thing, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, last time we had a lot of birch bark.
That birch bark just lights. See if it starts to catch. There goes a flame.
The rule is you should always hit the blade away from
a couple
you.
of these. Let's start running.
I love those ones that just take one hit and they just go in. Those are the best. See, that's straight grain. That's why it's so easy. Straight grain one. See how straight that is? Well, there you go. We'll come back in a little bit when it's starting to go, but...
More like that. Kind of take everything off. It's just gonna burn and leave a mark on your stove.
Just a birch bark. Smells like wood. All right, so let's keep it going. As you can see, there's a second burn, the winter well, and we'll just get some coals in there, and we'll start putting some of these. Starting having some of these. I gotta change my socks; they're all wet.
Oh shit.
Cool, like when it gets dark. My setup. Got my side, and we got Bobby's side. All in all, much better setup than we had last time. We were kind of slipping. You'll see it in the video. I don't know if I filmed any last time, but we didn't have a flat surface, so this tent kept on slipping everywhere. So you actually tied off one side. The only problem with these tie outs is that you can't really walk around it. They're tied off to the trees. So may tie mine off. I don't really have any tie outs over here, so all in all, tent's holding up for $100. Interesting little thing. I don't know if anybody knows what these are, but these little tiny snow fleas, and there were a bunch more, but I don't know if you guys can see those. We didn't focus on them, but they're little black flea-like creatures. Kind of like, you know, when you go to the beach and the sand fleas. It's kind of like the snow version of those. And I wonder if anybody knows what those are or what the name of them. They're little black, tiny little jumping little bugs. I'm assuming they're gonna nibble on you in your sleep.
What?
What?
Oh yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Where she's going. Works good. What's up, guys? It's really bright. So, hanging out with the fire. Trying to burn some wet logs and some good logs. You can see the fire goes right around it. You can see which ones are good by the ones that are really lit. It's hardwood versus softwood. Oh! Hold up! What's up? Just hanging out, outside the front door in front of the fire is what we're doing. Sitting on our Thermarest foam pads so the snow doesn't freeze our feet. Looks like Bobby's moved both his pads. Is that just for comfort and relaxability? Alright, well, it's burning good. The stove seems to be doing a good job. It looks cool with the flame coming out the box. And he's staring into it ever so intimately. Alright, so a few tips about the stove, just off the bat, anybody's watching this. So first off, the water jug leaked for me. I have to tighten the bolt in there, see if I can fix it. But it's kind of a bummer, I wanted to use it. To get the flame coming out, we found you want to get a bunch of wood in there and you want to turn the damper down just a little bit, maybe a little bit more, and that forces the air out towards the tent. Obviously you can't have an open flame like this when you're in a tent itself, but where it is in this, you know, it's about a couple feet away. I want to say it's about 3 feet away from the tent body. You can have an open flame. And Bobby, you really feel it like roaring forward,
oh, yeah,
right?
Dude.
Yeah, so if we keep on feeding it like this all night, we should have a nice, like, steady heat source. Even though it's, you know, we won't have that door open when we're sleeping, but if we're just laying down, I kept the door open for hours last time. And in terms of, I don't know if you guys can see the actual piping, but it's definitely smoking. Look at that. Let's see, we are cooking up using a little pan this time. Bobby's eating his.
Delicious.
His gruel, I think you call that. Cooking some sausages. We're eating our veggies. Some sausages, and then we got some snacks too. So we'll catch you a little later, guys, when we're drinking and relaxing. I check in. Huh. Interesting. Alright, later.
Good morning. We are
packed up. It's Sunday morning. We packed up this morning. Figured we'd just get everything done. But overall, good experience last night. A little cold, a little chilly, but we managed to get everything packed up, and we got our sled repacked and shit. So we're gonna hit the road. That's our trash. So just a little bit of smoldering fire left. Still going, and that's it. Alrighty, we're back.
We did it. Woo.
We did it. Overnighter got down to 25. I got the I'll add the data for my watch to the video later. But what'd you feel about your overnighter? What experience did you have, Bobby?
It's a good experience overall.
What things would you change or do better next time?
Next time, probably be a little warmer. Next time, we gotta go up to that ridge where we have like the overlook of all the mountains.
Yeah.
We're kind of tucked in. But
there was a ridge we found, yeah. I will say, whenever you think you have enough layers, it's like wood. Bring 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, the wood was bad.
I will say, like, our toes the whole night were cold, and as soon as you start walking, they just warm up. I don't think it's insufficient socks. I think it's just the circulation to your feet does it. But anyways, guys, that's our oh, and the stove. The stove wasn't nearly as good as the first night. Like, we didn't have good wood though. We only bought one that we bought, so I wouldn't say it's a stove's fault. However, the water jug did leak, so that's something I will have to acknowledge and see if I can fix it. But overall, when it was working good with good wood, it just, you know, it works great. And for what we're using it for, I think it was more for just a commodity of having it there versus actual heat source, because it was kind of far away. But anyways,